So these are the Italeri Hussars, French Hussars that I've just finished recently. I have to say I really enjoyed painting these. Very nice figures to paint. So yeah, little jackets they've got on the outside. Some nice little bits of gold and silver on these. Most enjoyable. Did take quite a while to paint these because there's so much detail on them, but they're exceptionally nice. So well worth the effort. And if I just bring up the command stand. There you go. These are the Nassau Grenadiers that I've just finished. Just go along the line there. Made a little command unit for them from my trusty hat line infantry command set. And I bought 4 boxes of these because they come with the Nassau Freikorps as well. So I wanted to get all the marching figures in there, plus 9 of the guys advancing with the bayonet in there as well. And the command figures as well. I had a spare guy here, I don't know how I managed that, but I thought I'd put him on there as well. That's what happens when you don't count properly. And to do the yellow facings I have to paint everything white first so that the yellow shows up properly. Very nice figures to do these. So let's just go along the line here. So that's 2 more units complete, and I also finished 6 more Vikings for my Viking Saxon armies. I like doing the stripy trousers on these. These are the Emha figures, very nice. I do like this guy. So there you go, another 6 there. Now another thing I've done recently is I've added these 3 barriers from the Waterloo Farmhouse Battlefield Accessory set, and I'd already done 3 from the previous set I had, so I thought I'd add these to my collection. And I then had a bit of a thought about this, because I'm not going to buy another Battlefield Accessory kit, even though I've just finished another couple of the carts. So I just finished that one in the middle there, and that guy as well, because I really like these carts, so they're well worth doing. So yeah, as I say, I wasn't intending to buy another Battlefield set, because I think 4 carts is sufficient. So what I thought I'd do was scratch build a barrier instead, because basically it's just 5 little pieces of twig with some coffee stirrers on the end there, which I was debating whether to paint or not, but I think I might just leave them as they are. In fact, the coffee stirrer part is probably not even that necessary. So I think these look obviously a lot rougher, but probably more realistic because you're actually using natural stuff. And one day I may actually be able to make a video without my wife interrupting it. Who knows? This is why I have to do it while she's out. But it's nice to get the commentary in the background about dinner time, usually. Teeth brushing, the usual. So anyway, back to the Unreal world. I'm quite chuffed with that. And I've started to make a few more, so what do they cost? Nothing. Pick up a few twigs, use a bit of glue, bit of filler, stick the odd tuft on there, and they're away. And yeah, so happy with that. And now I shall show you that I've finally completed the Zvezda kit. Another idea, how about I make some fortification bits. And so this is basically that, plus some coffee stirrers for the barrier with matchsticks as the uprights holding it together, coffee stirrers on the bottom there, and then the front is I had to lay it like that to pour the filler in originally, and I've also shoved in some bits of twigs and some rocks in there as well just to fill it out. What I want to do is leave some of the ends of the logs and rocks poking out for the next ones, and I could do some longer lengths, but this was basically the prototype, so I could do them, you know, maybe that long. And I'm also going to do some that come off at an angle as well, so that I can build a sort of redoubt type, like a Borodino type fortification, and then I'm going to make them into whatever shape I want, rather than building a huge diorama. You know, this is a bit more flexible. So that's just an idea I've had. If it gives you an idea, then so be it, because that's the whole point of throwing things up to see how people take things on board. Okay, so that's that one. And I finally got around to finishing off my Zvezda foot artillery. So I have 3 gun batteries and some support troops at the back, because there are enough troops really, seeing as there's 5 on each of these bases. And again the conversation kicks off downstairs. When is a good time? Never mind, I shall carry on. So yeah, there are 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 gunners in this set, which means that I had enough to do a couple of sets at the back, and I've sort of mixed them up so it's not the same 5 on each one. This gun is actually a Prince August one with a Zvezda barrel on it, because you get extra gun barrels in the set, because one of the guns goes on the limber. And here we go, let me just show you this. Now, doing these is extremely fiddly, which is why it has taken me so long to finish them off, because you lose heart from time to time, to be honest, because it is such an awkward set to paint. What I did is this one, I didn't glue everything down. I glued the back 2 horses down and left the other ones joined together so I could lift them up and paint underneath. Just made it a lot easier by having it partly stuck down. The limber as well, I didn't stick down, so I could get underneath that, paint around the sides, etc. And that worked okay. The horsemen were painted separately as well, because I prefer to do them that way. But they could have been glued down, but it would have made it very awkward painting the little shark's teeth on the saddle. So I prefer to do the horsemen separate. That's just the way I roll. So there you go. Lovely set though, now that they're finished. I would recommend them, but you have to have a lot of patience and the will to survive the pain of it, because it is Not an easy job, but they don't have to look magnificent when they're finished. Just going back along the line there, just put him down. So the other one is the caisson. This one I didn't stick anything down at all. I painted all the bits separately. So you get quite a lot in this particular set. We're talking 12 horses, 19 gunners and 6 horse riders, or drivers shall we say. And you get a caisson and a limber, which I think makes it a very nice set indeed. In fact, if you had the time and the patience and the will to live, it would be nice to have a few more of these sets, because it's basically got the lot that you'd need. Whether I'd do it again, I do not know. I'd have to steel myself to do it. But yeah, in a lot of ways I'm glad they're over with, but they should look very nice when I get down to my next battle. Okay, I've got another couple of things to show you, so I shall move on to the next thing. Okay, so what I've also just completed, I had these minifigs gunners that were all singly based, and I originally had them clustered around a gun that was also on its own base, and I just thought that does not really fit in with what I'm doing with my Napoleonics at all, and fiddling around with individual based figures takes a long time to set up and a long time to pull apart at the end of the battle, whereas instead I could put 4 figures on a base with a gun, and that's saves you putting down 10 figures, say 10 figures then. We'll call it 10 figures. 8 men and 2 cannons is 10 figures, so you couldn't, you're replacing that with 2. So I did those just to speed things up and to just base them in the same way I'm basing everything else. The guns are Revel, but they're okay for these figures. And seeing I was at that, I also added some guys, minifigs again, to support them. So I've thrown a few things on there, barrels, buckets, the guy with the wheelbarrow trundling up the shot. So yeah, 3 of those, which means I do have another gun somewhere, at least 1 gun, so I'll just get another gun to sit in there, and these can go for either Royalist or Parliament, of course, which is quite useful for English Civil War. So yeah, it's a good way to use up your barrels, your pails, your pebbles, tufts, etc, etc, and I think it makes quite a nice effect if I just turn this around the side. So there you go. Enjoyed doing these though, because the figures were already painted, so it was just a matter of taking them off the bases and sticking them on a base with the gun already there, and just flock it. Well done, easily done. You can see again on this one I've got a variety of guys, so it's not the same poses on each gun, just to lighten it up a bit. Okay, now I will show you what is on my bench and what I'm doing. Okay, I'm doing Austrian troops. That's the spare gun I was on about for the English Civil War stuff. I may leave it in this case, or well, these gabions, or I may not, but I want to use them for something, so I may do that. Maybe put a base underneath it for putting on the figures. Just get that out of the way. So yeah, I'm about to start basing these. I think I finished 1, 2, 3, 4. It's about 18 Austrian infantry so far. And got some more just drying out the gesso at the moment, so I'll be painting some of those today. And some of them came in the box without stands, so we need to cut the stands off because this is the tail, I shall tell you. But first, here's another one of those barriers that I'm making. Anyway, on eBay a couple of weeks ago I noticed that someone was selling 6 boxes of hat Austrian troops, so I thought that's not bad, and I think I bid about 15 quid and got them for 15 quid, so for 6 boxes of hat figures, 15 quid is a bargain. So I'll just show you what it was. So I got 2 boxes of cuirassiers, so that's 24 figures in there. And the dinner cord goes out again. I'll just zoom out. So yeah, 2 boxes of those, 24 cavalry, and 12 chevaux légers. So that's 3 boxes of cavalry. And sorry for the wobbling, but I'll put the boxes up. 3 boxes of Austrian line infantry, so 48 in each box. So 3 times 48 is 150 minus 6. So 144 troops altogether. And if I'm doing 36 men in a battalion, because what I might have to do is throw in some of those trusty hat British line command, so I've got some guys with standards, then that's going to make me a very sizable little army for 15 quid. Not bad. And I'll just show what I've just bought to complement that. So seeing as I'd only paid about 15 quid for those boxes and got a hell of a lot of troops, I decided to splash out another incredible £9.95 on this box of Austrian and Russian general staff, because you can't get the Austrian general staff on their own. And I've got some boxes of Russians dotted around anyway, so it's not as if they're going to go to waste. I'm not concentrating on doing Russians at the moment in time. I want to get the Austrians done first. And when I do come to Russians, at least I've got 1 unit of cavalry already. I've got some artillery unit already. I haven't got any infantry apart from these, but you know, what's it going to take to get some Russian infantry as well? I've got a few Russian infantry, but certainly not enough for a battalion, just from some eBay bid I won a couple of years ago, and just got about 150 figures, and there was some Russians in there that obviously they didn't want, so all these things can't do. There were some Austrian Grenadiers in with the same batch as well, so I'll add those to the Grenadiers in this set because it's got lots of Grenadiers in it. There's 39 pieces including the horses, so I think that's not bad. So that's what I shall be doing. Just looking around the bench again. I got the Strelets French Army Camp set 2 salutes ago, so I've been just looking through that recently, see the figures that I haven't painted, just to see. He's not Strelets, he's the Austrian NCO. So yeah, we got the loving couple sat there drinking a bottle of wine together. We got the Dragoon quaffing an ale. Would the French have drunk ale? Maybe it's cider, perhaps. And the young carrying the barrel. Let's see, these can all go around my pub or inn that I did, and a guy smoking a pipe sitting on a tree stump. None of these are finished yet, but they're getting there. They're very nearly there. So I've been painting them in between doing the Austrians, and I've got shed loads of Saxons as well, which are over here. They're all nearly done. It's a case of doing a couple of little bits on them and they're done, and this lot as well. So yeah, I've been busy doing Saxons, finishing off those Zvezda things, and having a fun time. Okay, so that's basically what I'm up to at the moment. When I finish this particular batch of Austrians, I'm going to do some more, but I want to do these guys, the Lifeguard Polish Uhlans, because they are beautiful figures, and it's just a shame that they're still sat there not being painted. It's quite nice to paint a well-made figure. I'll just put that down as a bit of shade. It's nice to actually have some well-made figures in the figures that you're painting, particularly when you've got some strelets on the go. I mean, I was saying this to my chums the other night. Strelets are not the nicest of figures, but they do have a very good selection of poses that nobody else does. So I mean, you know, nobody does anything like that, do they? So they're worth having just because of the extra things that they do. So that's why I do them. Okay, right, thanks a lot guys, that was quite a long one, so I'll get off before all hell breaks out down here. Okay, bye. Facing them yesterday. Yeah, so enjoyed doing these, very nice. Some of the swords are a bit